I think the most important thing that is different between now and the time when I wrote the book is that there is an animal rights movement. The whole idea of animal rights or animal liberation was not really heard of then. There were some more traditional animal welfare societies or humane societies designed to prevent cruelty, but they mostly focused on dogs and cats and perhaps horses and so on. There was really no big public discussion about whether animals have rights, nor about factory farming. It's really important that we have a big political movement supported by millions of people that is concerned about these issues. And that has made a significant difference in some countries in the way animals are treated. For example, stricter regulations about what you can do to animals in research, and in some places also some regulations about factory farming, although not nearly enough. But still, there are significant differences for hundreds of millions of animals. And now we have a worldwide movement that everywhere. I was in China last year, and there's an animal movement in China. And I think it's making a difference, not fast enough, but it is making a positive difference in the right direction. I think that laws in the United States have made some improvements in some particular states, not at the federal level so much, but in some states, like in California, where they had a referendum in 2008 that did improve the law with regard to animals in factory farms a bit, and some other states too. I think the US has made some progress, but it's still true that there are laws across the entire European Union, or 27 countries, that prohibit, for example, the kinds of cages for battery hens, the hens that produce our eggs. The typical cages that are used in the United States still are illegal now across the entire European Union, and also conditions in which some pigs, the breeding sows, are typically kept in the US are illegal in the European Union. So, although there has been progress in the United States, I think they are still behind Europe in that. Brazil produces a very large amount of meat, and my understanding is that there is a lot of factory farming too, particularly with chicken production and egg production. And I think the conditions in those factory farms are very bad. So I think Brazil is fallen behind not only Europe, but also standards in some parts of the United States as well. And Brazil really would have a long way to go to bring its laws up to the equal of those in Europe. Well, change only happens if you have a lot of determined people who want to bring about that change and are prepared to work at the political level, at the educational level, change things, to perhaps persuade consumers not to buy products from factory farms, to persuade politicians that they are more likely to win elections if they have good policies on animal welfare issues. And for that to happen, it takes a lot of people to be altruistic. They're not going to get rewarded for it, really, except for the satisfaction of knowing that they have reduced the suffering of millions of animals. And that is a real reward. I think that does make your life feel more meaningful and fulfilling. But you know, it's not going to earn money for yourself, and too many people are focused on just increasing their income and their consumption. And this does require you to think about other beings and to have concern for their suffering, and to think about how you can most effectively reduce that suffering.